learn about 3D modeling and 3D designing. So,
Okay, sir.
how many of you are aware of 3D modeling and design? You can, yeah, you can drop a message. I'll continue my session. So, we will start with the overview of 3D modeling. So 3D modeling is a process of creating three-dimensional representation of an object or scene using computer software. And the 3D modeling is the process of developing mathematical coordinate-based representation of a surface of an object in three dimensions via specialized software by manipulating edges, vertices, and polygons in a simulated space. So examples of some kinds of softwares used for 3D modeling is Fusion 360, SolidWorks, and Tinkercad. Uh, so today we will explore Tinkercad in the later part of the session, and we will talk about the significance of 3D designing and modeling. So I can see that Kia has already used Tinkercad. Very nice. So 3D modeling is making a big impact in many areas. It helps us create, visualize, and innovate in exciting ways across different industries. So one industry where 3D modeling is used is gaming industry. So you would have played all kinds of games on your mobile phones, and those mobile games are developed using 3D models. Like the characters are 3D models, and the cars are 3D models, and everything is a 3D model. So someone would have sat and designed each and every model, and then integrated it into the game. So 3D modeling is like a cornerstone for creativity, and game developers leverage this technology to craft the characters, environments, and assets. It has helped a lot in the gaming experience, or else if it's a 2D game, then it won't be as fun as a 3D game. And the next is animation industry. So a lot of you would have watched animated movies, cartoons, and animation industry is also the characters and scenes. Everything is designed with 3D models. So next is architecture and construction. So in architecture, most of the architects use a lot of softwares like BIM 360 to do 3D modeling and help visualize the project before the project has actually started. So this technology enables the creation of three-dimensional representations, allowing virtual walkthroughs and testing before the actual brick is laid. And the next industry where 3D modeling is used is manufacturing and prototyping. I think we discussed about 3D printing yesterday, and I also showed you how uh, the 3D printing works. So in manufacturing, 3D modeling is used for prototyping things, simulating things, and checking if the design is proper. And in medical and healthcare industry, the 3D models are used, as we discussed yesterday, where all the 3D models are used to test if the parts like teeth or if prosthetics can be fit. So initially, before manufacturing the prosthetic leg, the 3D model is made, and it is checked if it fits properly, and then it's further manufactured. Yeah. So now let's talk about different types of 3D modeling. There are a lot of different types of 3D modeling, but this time I'll focus on the four types of 3D modeling. First one is the wireframe modeling. Wireframe modeling is basically like drawing the skeleton structure of the object. It represents a 3D model using lines, points, and planes, providing simple visual guide. It is very good for conceptualizing ideas. And the next one is surface modeling. Surface modeling mostly focuses on creating the outer shell of an object. It is more like sculpting, adding details to the shape, and it is used in industries like automotive, animation, and gaming. The next is solid modeling. Solid modeling is like building with virtual clay. So you uh, get a solid model and start modifying it to your desired shape. So you would have used clay and made objects out of clay. So solid modeling is similar to what you do with clay, but it will be in software. So solid modeling is used at a lot of places, including like manufacturing and animation. And the next one is parametric modeling. Parametric modeling involves a bit of mathematical equations, and it is used to define like the model's properties. It also allows for easy adjustments and changes just by varying the parameters, and that's how it gets the name of parametric modeling. Yeah. Next is like basic principles of 3D modeling. So 3D modeling, let it be any software, 3D modeling's basic principle remains the same across all the softwares. So uh, vertices, edges, and faces. So vertices is nothing but the corners or points in the 3D space. And I will actually demonstrate it in Tinkercad. And next is edges. Edges are nothing but the lines which connect the vertices, forming a structure. And face is nothing but the flat surface formed by connecting the edges, which makes kind of a plane. And next is XYZ axis. XYZ axis, X axis is used for left and right movements. Y axis is used for up and down movement. Z axis is used for front and back movement. So these axes determine the object's position and orientation in a 3D space. So extrusion is a construct where planes are extruded to make a shape, make a 3D object. And next is rotation. So to design 3D models, you need to rotate across all the corners and see how the shape is. So rotation is also involved. Scaling is nothing but increasing the size in 3 dimension of an object. So we'll go through all these principles in Tinkercad, but yeah. So we will start using Tinkercad now. Tinkercad is an online 3D modeling tool designed for simplicity and accessibility. It's a very good starting point for new people who are entering the 3D designing and modeling field. So Tinkercad looks like this. So I'll also show you how to sign up on the platform. Uh, so let's start. Yeah. So you should visit tinkercad.com, and if someone has a laptop, then they can do it along with me, or else we will demonstrate it during the offline classes with laptops. So once you go to Tinkercad, you click on login, go to personal account, and sign in with Google, and select the account. Yeah, and now you can start off with a new design. You can click on create. There are multiple options in Tinkercad. You can do 3D designing. You can also build circuits. You can also build code blocks. It is similar to MIT App Inventor. So let's start with 3D design. Yeah. So this is called the work plane. This is like the surface, like the table on which we would be doing the modeling. So this is for the orientation. This is stop, and you can click on home. This is front. This is right, and these are all the options. This is home. It goes back to the default position, and this is for zooming in, zooming out, fitting all the objects within one screen and other things. So these are the alignment, mirror, and snapping options which will appear once the shapes are added. So in Tinkercad, you can either import a 3D model from any other software, or you can start building your own. So there are multiple options. There are basic shapes, there are design starters, there are creatures and characters, and structure, scenery, hardware, electronics, and a lot of other things. So we will go through each one of it with considering examples. So yeah, let's start off with designing some basic shapes. Um, so you all know what this is. It's a simple box, right? So let's start off with designing a house. So how does a house look like? It is a rectangle, a cube or a cuboid with a particular length and width and height. So if you change the radius, you'll see the corners getting smoothened. So we will keep the radius as 0 because uh, we'll design a house which looks like a rectangle. And a house usually has a roof. So let's consider this plane. So if you want to consider this plane, you have to go here, click this, and drag and drop the shape. So you can use the uh, keyboard arrows to align the object. And once it's aligned, you can also change the snapping grid so that you can make micro adjustments. Yeah. And to zoom in and zoom out, you can use this. And to go back to the default view, you can click on this. And to move around, you have to right click and use a mouse to uh, pan across the object. And to zoom in, you can also use the scroll wheel. Okay, now the object is here. We will align it to fit this rectangle. So you can drag this corner point and extend it till it's here. So you can all see how it's taking shape now. So for example, let's say you want a house with a larger roof. You can click on this and edit it to have a bigger roof. Is it looking like a house already? So we'll go back to the plane settings. Now let's add a door to the house. So let's click on this plane. You have to select work plane tool, select this plane, and then let's add a door. And how does a door look like? It is a rectangle. So let's drag it here. Change the color of the door. Let's keep it the wood color. And let's make it a little bit transparent. Let's start modifying the size of the door. We'll decrease the height. Okay. Now let's add steps. Okay. Before adding a new shape, just deselect it. And let's again select this plane. Click on the box, drag and drop it here. We can decrease the length and decrease the width. Change the color so that it looks like a step. And decrease the height. Okay. So this is a very basic model of how house looks like. So now what you can do is you can save it. It will already be saved and give it a name. And then you can also export it to different formats. There are different formats for a 3D design object. One is OBJ and the other one is STL. You can also directly send it to a 3D printer. Yeah, I request all the students to have their mics muted. So we can send it directly to a 3D printer. So for example, let's say we want to export this to an STL file, which is for 3D printing. We'll start preparing the model for export. And you can download it. I will also get into how to prepare a design for 3D printing. So let's just save it for now. Okay, now next, let's move on to designing a little bit more complex part with multiple objects. Let's go back. Let's create a new design. And yes, from where we can make it, is there a specific app we have to install? So you can use your Google Chrome or Firefox and go to tinkercad.com, and you can log in with your Google account and you can start creating designs. Okay, I'll get back to designing. Okay, let's now design a water bottle. A very simple water bottle, which looks like this. Are you able to see the water bottle?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the shape of the water bottle? Can someone tell me?
Circle.
Yeah, right.
What's that?
Yeah, that's right. So it's actually a cylinder. A circle when extruded forms a cylinder. So this is a cylinder, and let's start changing the dimensions. So I also will talk about dimensions later in the session, where we need to accurately measure and design things. But for now, we will just focus on uh, modeling the water bottle. So this water bottle is 40 centimeters long. and the color of the bottle is white, and the radius is 15. Okay, and this is the lower part of the water bottle, and this is the cap. So we should design both the items. Now we have the cylinder object, and let's go back to making it a hole. Okay, before let's keep it as a solid for now, and increase the number of sides. So when you increase the number of sides, you will see the surface getting smoother. So if it's just a two-sided, yeah, 12-sided cylinder, it is more polygon-like. But if you increase the sides, it'll become a circle. It'll become a proper circle. Okay. Now let's design the cap. So this is one object, and for the cap, we will take another cylinder and change the dimensions. Let's go to the top view. The radius was 15. Let's go back to the default view. And the height is 5 centimeters. So click on this, click 5. Great. This has started to look like a cap. Now let's do one more thing. We will make it hollow. Make it hollow. So let's take another cylinder, place it on top of this. Place it on top of this. Decrease the radius to less than 15 so that we can cut the cylinder inside. And now let's align both the objects. And to align, you have to select both the objects and click on align. And you can go to the top view and it will show how the alignment is. So now you can see that it's center aligned, which is great. And now let's start cutting the inside portion. So you can go here, click on, let's make it a solid back. Select both the components. Group it, and then okay, let's keep it as a solid. Okay, let's now add the cap. Again, to align it properly, let's go here and select both the objects. Click on align, and if you hover over this point, you'll see that it is coming to the right, and then if you click on this, you can see that it will come and sit here. Okay, now the cap is at the bottom, so we have to bring it to the top. And to bring it to the top, let's go back one step. You can go back by clicking on undo. Bring it to the top first, and then align it. Click on the top view, select both the objects, align, and align it on top. Great. Now let's bring it to the bottom and change the color back to white. Okay, does it look like a bottle now? You can open the cap and, oh, sorry. You can open the cap and see that this is hollow inside. And now what we'll do is, since it's one object, we'll go back and group both the objects. You can click on group, and now it has grouped. So it is one object now. You can move it around and it is treated as one single object. Okay, next let's do one more thing. We will add a text on the bottle. So you can drag and drop text. Change the name to Ladakh Science Foundation, LSF. And let's decrease the height. Yeah. We will also put it on top of the cap. So let's select both the objects and click on align and then bring it to the top. Great, now it's on the top. Now let's align it from the top. Select both the objects, go to align, and then bring it to the left first, and then bring it down. Okay. Now it is approximately on top of the bottle. Let's move it using the arrow keys and decrease the size of the logo and increase the height a little bit. So in this tutorial, we can see that we can add text, we can create objects, solid objects, we can make holes inside objects, we can group objects, combine them and make it into a single object. Let's also combine it. Yeah, now it's combined. Now it's a single object. Okay, now I'll also teach you about exporting this part. Let's go to export. As I told you, STL is a format. .stl is a format which is used for 3D printing. Let's export this object to STL file. And I also want to show you a software called Cura. Yeah. So Cura is a software where you can slice your 3D objects to a 3D printable format. I will quickly show you how this works. You can open this software called Cura.
Sir,
Yeah.
in 3D printing machine price test.
Sorry, I could not hear that.
Price 3D printing machine.
It starts from 15,000-20,000 rupees and it goes up to crores. So yeah, it starts from 15,000-20,000. You can actually see the 3D printers during the offline sessions. We have purchased the 3D printers. We'll be getting it for the offline sessions. So I will show you this software called Cura. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
This software is loading. So what Cura does is it's a slicing software where you import the your 3D designed models and objects, and it will slice things layer by layer and make convert it into a format called G code, which is the 3D printer format. 3D printer will only understand instructions or designs which is in G code. So this is how the software looks like. And now let's go back to Chrome, and we have saved the design. So let's go back here and import it. You can see the bottle. You can see how the bottle looks like. And let's also simulate um, the part. Okay, we actually have to scale this part first. It is very small, so let's increase the size. Let's increase it by. Okay, this is too big. So let's decrease it to around 500. Okay, let's keep it to 400. And let's move it back down. Yeah. So this is how the bottle will be printed. And so this software called Cura will has a lot of instructions where you can add printers and manage printers. So depending on the type of the printer, you can select the bed size and the nozzle size and the infill. Okay, let's click on slice, and it will show you how long it will take to print this part. It is showing 19 hours and 19 minutes because it is a huge part. So if we uh, increase the layer height, we can see that the time has reduced to 14 hours. Now let's preview how the 3D printing process would be like. So this is how the model will build up. And you can see the hollow structure inside. And then this is the cap. And then this is our text. Did you understand how this works?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
sir.
Let's go back to Kura and let's sorry, let's go back to Tinkercad. Give me 1 second.
Sir, hello. Excuse me, sir.
Okay, now let's design something else. Yeah, let's design a car. Do you want to design a car or do you want to design something else? Okay, let's design a car. Uh, So what is the basic shape of a car? A car is basically like a box, and yeah, you import the box and you start editing the box by moving this and this. Okay, great. This is like a very basic shape of a car. Now let's increase the radius so that the corners are smooth. So now you can see all the corners are smooth. Okay. Next, let's add wheels to the car. And what shape uh, is a wheel? It is basically a
Round.
yeah circle. When extruded, it's a cylinder. Okay, let's go back. Uh, let's drag and drop the cylinder to this face, and let's decrease the width. Let's decrease the wheel size to 10. 10. Okay. Let's move it around. Go back. Let's go back to the home view. Let's go to the top view and then align it. Okay, this works. And we will create a small shape on the tire. We'll decrease. Decrease the size, and then we'll align it to be in the center of the wheel. Yeah. Now it's in the center of the wheel. So now the basic wheel shape is ready. So what we can do is we can copy paste the same wheel by doing this. Uh, okay, let's group the wheel first. Let's group it into one single object. Now you can see that it's one single object because the color has changed to blue. Now we can do duplicate and repeat. Yeah. And we can move this. Okay, this is great. and we can use shift to select both the parts and copy, paste it, and then move it around. Rotate 180 degrees. Let's go back to the top view. I'm using arrow keys to move it. Okay. So we have to adjust it because it is not properly aligned. Let's go here. Let's select both the objects. Click on align. Actually, we can what we can do is we can rotate it slightly. Yeah, this works. So the Tinkercad is a very primitive tool. There are more complex softwares like Fusion 360 where you can do a lot more corrections without having such issues. So now the wheel has turned slightly, but it's fine. It's fine for a prototype. Now let's align this back and connect it to the body of the car. Is it looking like the body of the car?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And next we will add a windshield. And how does a windshield look like? Which is the closest shape? It's actually, it can also be a box or it can be a wedge. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll rotate it and rotate it and properly align the windshield so that it sits on top of the car perfectly. Okay. We actually have to tilt the windshield a bit more. Yeah, this is it. Now let's merge it with the body of the car. Change the snapping to 0.25 so that we can do finer adjustments. And then move it backward. Okay, does it look like a windshield now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's create the rest of the car.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, we added one more box and then we'll start modifying the box. We will increase the length of the box so that it sits flush with the windshield. I'm doing fine adjustments, and we'll also change the color and make it blue so that we can differentiate. Okay, great. It has started to look like a car now. Okay. I think this is a very basic car, which looks like a car, but we can do more complex designs using other softwares. And this is a very good starting point for everyone. So you can all log into tinkercad.com today if you have laptops, and then start designing a pencil. And whoever has laptops can design a pencil and share the pictures so that we can actually 3D print it when we come to the offline classes. And now I will export this to a 3D printable. Okay, before exporting, we have to group all the parts to one part. So let's select this and then let's click on group. Okay, now it has become one single part. So let's export this. And this will automatically open the Cura software, which is the slicer used to convert 3D objects to 3D printer understandable format. Yeah, this will take some time. Yeah, now you can see that the car is on the build plate. Build plate is nothing but the surface of the 3D printer. And now let's select the appropriate settings. I will also walk you through all these settings, uh, the different profiles, different nozzle sizes, different infills during the offline classes. So we will exclude support for now. We actually need supporting structures, but we'll exclude it for now. And this part is going to take 1 hour 28 minutes to print. So next, what we can do is we can preview how the printer will start printing the part. So the yellow part which you can see here is the nozzle. And this is basically a simulation of how the 3D printer will start printing. Yeah, you can see the layers building up. Yeah, and this part will take 1 hour 28 minutes. So what I will do is I will export this and put it on the 3D printer so that maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow you can all see how our design looks like. Is it interesting?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So can I give you an assignment for today? Who all have laptops? Can you put yes on chat. Okay, great. The assignment would be to design a pencil with all the basic shapes, using all the basic shapes on Tinkercad, and you can share pictures of the assignment to me on WhatsApp. And yeah, the person who has designed it properly will get a small gift from me when we are in late. So can we do this? Can we do this on this assignment by tomorrow? Whoever has a laptop, and whoever doesn't have a laptop, don't worry. We will try to get a couple of laptops during the offline classes, and maybe we can form groups of students, and you can all um, design in groups. Yeah, you can share it on the group. You can share it on the group, or you can find my number on the group, and you can send it to me personally. So was this session interesting? Will you all do assignments?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We'll try.
Yes,
Excuse
sir.
me, sir.
Yeah. You can ask me questions. कुछ questions है तो अभी पूछ सकते हो आप.
Excuse me, sir.
हाँ, बोलिए.
Sir, the assignment that you gave us yesterday, I have to submit that on which,
Yeah, you can share it.
on your own number or on the group?
No, you can share it to my own number. You can
Okay, sir.
send a message with your name, and you can share the assignment on WhatsApp to my number.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. And कुछ questions है तो पूछ सकते हो आप लोग. Did you understand today's session? Was it?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
sir.
Amazing, amazing. So one last thing which I wanted to talk about is like the future trends in 3D modeling, because I think everyone is still in school right now, and um, when you get outside school, you'll have like multiple options, multiple career opportunities if you start doing 3D modeling, 3D designing, and 3D printing. One is virtual reality and augmented reality. It is like, I think all of you by now know what virtual reality is and augmented reality is. So 3D modeling involves like very deep integration with virtual and augmented reality, because any anything which you put virtually should be 3D modeled. Someone has to sit and 3D model. Um, Now there are also something called as 3D scanners, which I'll talk about in tomorrow's session and show you how 3D scanning works. But yeah, it is very useful in virtual reality industry. So it is used for interacting with immersive environments, bringing a new level of realism to this virtual reality. And next is AI-driven design assistants. As you all know, right now, whoever has used ChatGPT, uh, they can also generate images. There are other tools similar to ChatGPT where you can type in prompts, like uh, a cow eating an apple or something, and it will generate image, a 3D image out of it. So there are tools like that which is coming up where you can do where you can generate 3D models just by giving text input. So all these AI algorithms will assist designers by automating repetitive tasks. Like let's say you want to design a seat for a car, you can just type in design a seat for this car with these dimensions, and the software will design it for you. So this is like the next generation of technology which will be coming up, and this will help make the design process more efficient, easy. And the other thing is generative design, which is already existing right now in a lot of tools. I'll also talk about this in the future session. So what generative design is, it takes inspiration from algorithms and nature to create designs that meet specific criteria. Let's say you are designing a hinge which has to tolerate certain amount of load. So that will consider all those things into consideration and then design the shape accordingly, which is called generative design. It can generate organic shapes and structures, and it optimizes designs for both aesthetics and functionality. So these are the future trends in 3D modeling. There are a lot of other trends also, but these are the top three trends which I identified. So you can also go through all these things, and we can discuss this in the offline classes. So um, can you all do the assignments by tomorrow and share it to me on WhatsApp?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And
Yes, sir.
कुछ doubts है तो अभी पूछ सकते हो, and you can also message me on WhatsApp if you have any doubts. And thank you for attending.
Sir.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, आपका आवाज नहीं आ रहा.
असाइनमेंट क्या है सर?
असाइनमेंट है कि आप
असाइनमेंट क्या है सर?
असाइनमेंट है आप एक पेंसिल डिजाइन करो ऑन टिंकरकैड. तो आपके पास लैपटॉप है तो डिजाइन करो, वरना हम लोग नेक्स्ट वीक ऑफलाइन सेशंस में हम एक लैपटॉप देंगे और उसमें डिजाइन कर सकते हो आप. तो बेसिकली एक पेंसिल एक.
ओके सर.
हाँ, मैं जल्दी से दिखा देता हूँ इस तरह. So you can design something like this and share it on WhatsApp. Like you can add colors change करो, and if you आपको रबर चाहिए तो रबर भी add करो, and then आप एक फोटो लेकर मुझे भेज दो WhatsApp पर, and you'll get a small gift from me if you are attending the offline session. If you have completed the assignment and if you are attending the offline session, you get a small gift.
Sir, from
Yeah.
where I can get the software you are using?
Okay, let me share the link. It's called Tinkercad.
So is it available on Chrome?
It's available on Chrome,
So okay.
and you can sign in using Google, and you can click on New Design and start designing.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, and we will also show you in the offline classes how to design for 3D printing. So basically, how to optimize your designs for 3D printing. So
Yes, sir.
we'll do it next week.
Yes.
And tomorrow we'll also be continuing this session where we'll try to design more complex objects. So
Yes, sir.
you should all attend the next
Okay
session.
sir.
Okay, thank you, students.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir. Thank you for your session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good night.
हमें है उजाला अंधियारा मिटाने का, हमें है हौसला नई उमंग बनाने का, हमें है एक जोश हर मंजिल पाने का, हमें है एक जज्बा हर जिंदगी सजाने का, हमें है जोश हर मंजिल को पाने का, हमें है एक वादा एक सुनहरा कल बनाने का, हम हैं जिंदगी, हम हैं हर खुशी,
हम हैं वो रोशनी जो बनाए आपका भविष्य और उज्जवल. हम हैं ONGC.